Hi Apple lovers and welcome to the Tech Hub and another Apple Retro Series episode where I review old Apple tech to see if it still functions and finds any uses in 2025. This episode looks at the iPod Classic 6th generation, which was released in 2007. Is it still usable in 2025? Let's find out. Let's start the episode. So let me talk to you a little bit about how I ended up with this device, which led me to make this episode for the Retro series. So in one of my many journeys up to our loft where I keep all my empty boxes for my tech, I found my old CD wallet. You might remember like kind of the leather bound slips and there was two of them. I was like, oh my God, it's my old Apple CDs. Now, because I have an external CD drive that still reads them, I made it a mission to transfer them all onto my Apple Music, which went swimmingly, by the way. And I am going to do a separate video about this, so that's all I'm going to say about it. Anyway, it got me thinking. Okay, I've got all these CDs. Ideally, I want to play them in the car. It does have a CD player, but it's a digital age. What could I get? How can I use them in the car? So I did find an old iPod of mine. It's the Mini. First generation, I believe, but it's only 4 GB. So I was researching it and came across a lot of these iPod classics on eBay, all very affordable. And there seems to be, this is like a retro thing to get, and a lot of people are rebuying these. I understand why now after making this episode and the journey I've been on with this product. So if you want to find out why, I think maybe not on a comeback, but people are using these. I'll tell you at the end. So anyway, skip to the end if you want to know that. But ultimately, this led me to the iPod 6th generation, which is 160 GB. It's a glorious little device. And actually, the quality of it is absolutely fine. The front looks brand new to me. Now, unfortunately, I'm sure they looked good at the time, but there's not many that look very good on the back because, let's face it, it's a shiny surface. It was never going to last the test of time, so lots that are scratched. The ones that aren't scratched tend to be new models of these. So basically, people can remake these or they refurb them and change the hard drive. I didn't want one of those. I wanted a classic one that's from the era. The risk there is the battery, considering how old it was. But actually, this battery seems fine. I haven't got any software that tells me that on my Mac, but I found a still here. And actually, since I've purchased this, I've noticed lots of them on my eBay hunts for Apple products. But this is a great little device and it's still usable today. So anyway, let's delve into the history of it. So let's look at the history of this iPod Classic 6th generation. So if you've been following Apple's journey over the years, you'll know that the iPod was a game changer in portable music. Today, we're diving into the history of the iPod Classic 6th generation, the last of the true classic iPods. Let's take a trip down memory lane and explore what made this device so special. Well, I say it's the last, there was a 7th generation, but there really wasn't a huge difference here. The iPod Classic 6th generation, released in 2007, marked the evolution of Apple's iconic music player. It was a sufficient update to the iPod line, bringing new features and solidifying the iPod's role in the digital music revolution. Before we dive into the details, let's set the stage. So the iPod Classic was Apple's flagship device for portable music, offering a larger storage capacity compared to the more compact iPod Nano or Shuffle. By the time the 6th generation arrived, Apple had already revolutionized the music industry with the iTunes Store, and the iPod was the device everybody wanted to own. Released in September 2007, the iPod Classic 6th generation featured a sleek, brushed metal back and a 2.5-inch display offering a clean and simple look. But the real standout feature was its storage capacity. It came with the options of 80 GB and 160 GB, a massive leap at the time. You could store thousands of songs, movies, and even photos all on a single device. Despite the larger storage, the iPod Classic 6th generation wasn't much bigger than its predecessors. The physical click wheel was still in play, offering a tactile and familiar way for you to navigate through your music library. So no touchscreen here, but there's something retro about that clicking wheel, and I haven't used a click wheel for so long, yet you just know how to use it. It's in our muscle memory now. Under the hood, the iPod Classic 6th generation featured a revised hard drive, providing not just more storage, but better reliability. It also boosted an impressive battery life, up to 40 hours of music, playback, and 7 hours of video, for anyone on the go. This made it perfect companion for long trips or commutes. It was a solid performer, offering seamless integration with iTunes for syncing music, videos, podcasts, and more. And it was compatible with both Windows and Mac computers, ensuring a broad user base. When it came to the user experience, the iPod Classic 6th generation was all about simplicity. The classic scroll wheel allowed for precise navigation through large libraries, making it super easy to find your favorite tracks, even if you had thousands of songs stored on it. This was the beauty of the iPod Classic. Intuitive, responsive, and just fun to use. And for the audio files, the sound quality was top notch, offering that signature clear, crisp audio that Apple had perfected over the years. Now, even though the iPod Classic 6th generation was an incredible device, it marked the end of an era. As smartphones like the iPhone became more powerful, the need for dedicated music players started to fade. In 2014, Apple discontinued the iPod Classic, officially ending the line. But for many, it was the ultimate music player, combining immense storage, a user-friendly design, and that iconic Apple Touch. So while the iPod Classic 6th generation may not have been the last iPod to be released, it was certainly one of the most memorable. It was the culmination of Apple's effort to create the ultimate portable music device, and it still holds a special place in the hearts of music lovers today. So let's talk about the uses in 2025. Now, unlike other retro episodes, I'm not really going to show you it in use because I'm going to follow this up with a video all about how to use it in today's Apple Music and iTunes. So be sure to check that video out when it's released. Now, this still works completely as intended on Apple Music app on a Mac, or Apple Music app in Windows or iTunes apps is still available. This is the first Apple retro product that still works the same as it did the day it came out. It's still usable exactly as they intended. So who's it for? It's ideal for transferring out songs from vinyl, cassettes or CDs to your Apple Music. Of course, you need an external device to do this, but you can still use iTunes and Apple Music to collate it and sync it with this. And people that want to sync it all onto one device that I wanted to, because most of us have something in the house or even in our cars that can still play this, which is fantastic. If you still own a music library of your own, as in the files are downloaded, this is ideal for you as well. It just doesn't work with streaming libraries today. So Apple TV, no. Apple Music, no, it doesn't work. But that's not the point of this device, because those things weren't out when it was released. That's why they don't work today. But I am not disappointed with this product. Now, I said at the beginning, I understand why this is making a comeback and why people are buying or using them again. It still works as intended. It's insane. If you've got a music collection. Hell, my parents are now syncing their OCD collection to their PC because, people have got stacks and stacks of CDs, cassettes, vinyls they don't listen to anymore because we don't have the devices. This can really help you get back into touch of your music collection. All that money you spent, you can still have that. And use this ideal device to do that. Now, there are other ways. If you still want to transfer your library, you can do that without an iPod, and I will explain how to do that in my future video. Anyway, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down tech history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content. So, what's your favourite iPod model? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, please be kind. You can follow me on Instagram and Threads at TechHubWiltsUK. You can also check out my website, which is www.techhubwiltsuk.co.uk. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.